Thanks for checking out this horror debate series video. So if you're new to this, just really quick, you watch my video, you get my pick for the best Christmas horror movie. Then you go over to your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete's channel, which is linked in the description, watch his video of the same name, and then come back to my channel, go to the community tab, and you can vote there on who you think did the best job of defending their pick and trying to convince people which is the best Christmas horror movie. Now, I will say, I love, love, love Black Christmas. I know that is what he is doing. He already had told me from the get-go when we decided on this topic, I want Black Christmas. I said, that is fine. I will come up with something else. Black Christmas is wonderful, but I'm going to make an argument for why Deadly Games, aka Dial Code Santa Claus, is the best horror Christmas movie. Or Christmas horror movie, however you want to say it. But for people who don't know this is a Vinegar Syndrome release. This is a French film from the 90s, I do believe. And actually, let me verify it. Oh, 89. Almost the 90s. So from 1989, French film. Looks unbelievable. And it also looks unbelievable on this 4K because Vinegar Syndrome does an amazing job. And side note, if you like this movie, definitely pick this up from Vinegar Syndrome. I'm not affiliated or anything. I'm just passionate about their stuff because it looks awesome. And the special features on this give you such interesting insight into why this film was made, how this film was made, and just get you into the mind of the actual filmmaker himself who did it, and also the kid who starred in it, who is actually the filmmaker's son. Very interesting stuff. They tell you a lot of things. So, I'm going to talk some more about Dial Code Santa Claus, aka Deadly Games. Which, also, I have a review for it on my channel, a full review, so you can just find that if you just search Carlin Cook, Deadly Games. I think that's what it's under. Yeah, it's under Deadly Games. Anyway, this film, first of all, is extremely well shot. It looks gorgeous. They got a well-known, very established French cinematographer to do this film. And you would think that, like, the subject matter of it is ridiculous. And for people who don't know the subject matter, just think a darker, more messed up Home Alone. It's literally a situation of this kid who's rich, living in a mansion with his mother and his grandfather, who he's very close with. One night, the mother's not there. He and the grandfather are alone, and a deranged individual who dresses himself up as Santa Claus slips in and starts coming after them. So the premise is ridiculous. It's very over the top, and people are always like, oh, it's Home Alone. Well, got to point this out, and the filmmaker points this out in the special features of that 4K. This film came out before Home Alone. He insists that Home Alone stole the concept from Deadly Games. So you could say that this is the original, grittier Home Alone, which I love that. I love Home Alone. I love Home Alone 2 as far as Christmas movies go. So to have a twisted, messed up horror version of it, it speaks to me. I mean, it says amazing to me. And so it really does a great job of kind of walking this line of like injecting horror into something I've already loved for so long, that being the Home Alone movies. So if you haven't seen it and that sounds interesting to you, definitely check it out. But to get back to what I was saying, it's phenomenal in the way it looks. The colors pop so much. The shots are so interestingly framed. Very interesting shots. Very interesting camera movement. It's very engaging in the way that it's done. My next point, it's fully immersed in the holiday itself. The decorations are so Christmas. They have plenty of snow showing up in it. The use of a Santa Claus-ish character, well, a character dressed as Santa Claus who's deranged. It has, like I said, a nice snowy appearance. And it even has a message about family in it, which is very appropriate for that time of year. You know, Christmassy movies tend to focus a lot on relationships and family and being together and being there for each other and not taking each other for granted, basically. So it has all those very Christmassy things, which I think help make it feel very much of the season. Unlike certain movies that, you know, I also could have made an argument for why Gremlins is the best Christmas horror movie, but it doesn't feel as much Christmassy as something like Deadly Games does. Now, I also could have gone with something like Krampus, which by Michael Dougherty, which I think is another excellent one, and I considered that one, but when I really thought about it, this one I think is even better. This is my number one. The acting in this is quite good, especially the unhinged performance by Patrick Florsheim, who is the guy who plays this deranged individual dressed as Santa Claus. If you watch this movie, just wonder, like, it makes you wonder what is going on in this individual's mind, and you literally feel like at any moment this person could snap in any number of ways. Very unhinged, very well done, and just super unsettling with the way he does the performance. It's phenomenal. They talk about it a bunch in those special features I was talking about, and he was a very established actor at that point and very well thought of, and he did a phenomenal job in this. He puts the creep, messed up, deranged factor into the Santa suit, and it works so well. Even better than Silent Night, Deadly Night, which is another one I considered, because I love that one too. Next point, the tension is very well maintained, and you feel the main character's ordeal. The main character, this little kid, who, by the way, has a mullet and then spiky hair on top. Amazing haircut, which he comments about when he's being interviewed. But, yeah, the tension. It's so well done, and part of it is that really well done character of the deranged Santa Claus guy, but it's also the way it's shot. It's also the use of the score. It's the acting that goes into it, but they do such a good job of not waiting too long to get to creating the tension and then maintaining the tension as things are unfolding. And you really feel what this kid is going through, and the grandfather as well to a degree. And there's some really like beyond tense moments in it as well, which I think a lot of people wouldn't expect from a weird concept like this. Next point. It's not a big point, but I do want to make this point. They use the song Merry Christmas by the singer Bonnie Tyler. If you haven't heard that song, look it up. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. I know it's on Spotify, wherever. It's used to make a very... I mean, first of all, it's very Christmassy. I mean, you got to have like a Christmas type music in a Christmas movie. And so that screams it because it's literally in the lyrics. It is a well done song, and it's also used in a very kind of contemplative and sad moment within the film that I think it just really shines and it really works, and it kind of like drives home more of that kind of like, this is the ordeal this kid's going through, but also his reflections on what's going on in his life, but also like his ties to his family and how he misses them, and, you know, all that stuff. So I think it's used very well, and it's also a very of the season song, and a good song, in my opinion. Last thing, it's a more messed up, dark version of Home Alone. I already touched on this, but literally, if you like Home Alone and you're a fan of things that go harder than that, if you've ever wanted to be like, man, I want to see more violence, more brutality, and more tension, Home Alone style, this is the movie. This is literally the darker, more messed up version of Home Alone. Instead of getting the bumbling idiots of Harry and Marv, you get this very menacing, very screwed up, very unpredictable, deranged dude in a Santa costume. So if you ever wanted to feel that actual danger, because you don't really feel it that much in the Home Alone movies, because you know that Harry and Marv are just idiots. They're always going to screw up. They're never going to get this kid. And it's a lower rated film. I think it's like PG-13. Is it PG-13? Probably PG-13 film. It might even be PG, actually. But anyway, a lower rated film, so you know that nothing's going to really happen to Kevin. In this movie, you don't know, because it is a hard R, and it's messed up. So those are all my qualifications for why I believe Deadly Games Dial Code Santa Claus is the best Christmas horror movie. I actually saw this for the first time on Shudder a few years ago. I know Joe Bob did it on The Last Drive-In. I had seen it maybe a year prior to him doing it on The Last Drive-In, but I don't think it's on Shudder at the moment, honestly. And again, if you do like this film at all, just buy it. Seriously, just buy it for Vinegar Syndrome. I'm going to be rewatching this December. And yeah. So anyway, again, you can vote. Go over to Uncle Pete's channel, watch his video, see why he thinks Black Christmas is a much better horror Christmas movie than Dial Code Santa Claus. Then you can come back, go to the community tab, and vote. You can. There's also a tie button, so if you think that it was a tie, you're perfectly fine to do that. Do us both a favor, subscribe to both our channels if you haven't already. If you have, we thank you very much. That's really awesome. That really does help make us feel supported. That's the best thing you can do to show your appreciation for the free content we both put out. Also, hit the like on all of our videos if you can, because that helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. And then also hit the notification bell button, because then you'll know when we're putting up new videos, which I know he is doing at least 2 a week, and I'm doing at least 3 a week, and sometimes more. So thank you very much for being involved in this. Oh, and the other thing is comment. Go ahead and comment on my video, comment on his video. We do love reading those comments. We love the interaction with people, especially on this series. So, yeah, appreciate that. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep it brutal.